Hello everyone, welcome back to another Tomato Sauce stream. Today, we're in a bit of a weird spot. We're kind of waiting, right? We're kind of in a weird when's the next content coming out kind of phase where we're like, I guess I kind of want to play with new Rush stuff. The meta's getting a little bit stale, but we do know we have a GRF just around the corner. We do know that we have Euro Goha confirmed coming out. We have got all the leaks that we've already gone over, so we shouldn't have to wait much longer. That being said, I am still a little bit sick. I would like to be doing the standing desk thing, but as my PT always used to say, if you're sick, like at all, just don't exert yourself like at all. So I've been trying to like basically stay off my feet. I've been trying to like do nothing. The issue is it means that I have been doing like literally zero exercise. I went for like a walk yesterday and that was about it. And other than that, I've done nothing. So I feel like I'm like putting on the pounds slowly as we go. But that being said, we're going to cover some of the stuff today, right? We got some speculation about the stuff that's going to be coming out in the new box. I've already seen a lot of people theory crafting about some decks that they will play, assuming the leaks are like accurate and those do come out in a timely manner before the GRF. There's also like some other non-Yu-Gi-Oh related stuff that we did want to talk about. We did have the new Pokemon generation announced, which is pretty cool. I'm sure everyone will have seen that by now, and you will have your own thoughts, feelings, and opinions on what the best starter is. That is something I also want to go into because I have been seeing so many memes, so many memes about all of that, which is quite exciting. We also have the Indie World Showcase, which is only going to be like a little 15-minute presentation, but we're going to check that out as well. So this is just going to be kind of a cozy, kind of short stream. We're just going to vibe, and we're just going to hang out. So I hope you guys have a good time, and thank you for spending the time with me. So let's see who we have in the chat. We have Dragson in the chat with first. Hello, what we getting? Hello, Dragson. So we're getting, you know, Euro, normal wind monsters. Again, I'm not the biggest fan of a normal wind monster deck. For me, that's not anything too exciting. That being said, I have seen that a lot of people are quite excited for it. So I'm kind of getting second-hand excitement for it from them. Plus, anything new is going to be cool, right? But for me, like, I kind of see this deck as feeling like Gate Order, which is a deck I was never super enthusiastic about. It's never been my vibe. I've always been the kind of person that likes like anime decks. I like, you know, decks that are an archetype unto themselves. I think that's the most interesting way to play Rush. Now, that being said, I think if you can go out of your way to create your own interesting brews, those are also really cool. Like, we have seen a lot of decks in the past that are just kind of not really an archetype. It's just kind of a bunch of cards put together that's now made, you know, a new pile deck. I think those can be really, really cool. The issue is those are very few and far between. And I don't think when we do that with just normal monsters, I don't think that's like super exciting. But we got that coming. Then we've also had Sabu Ramen data mined and a couple of noodle skills and some of the new noodle cards that have just literally come out in OCG. So I'm very excited for that. That's what I personally am looking forward to. But I say that, I'm also looking forward to the Meteor Dragon stuff. So we've got the other half of the Red Eye support, which also does look really, really exciting. So I'm looking forward to all of that, personally. We have a human in the chat. Hello, chat. Hello, human. Do you think Air Eagle will be the box you are or character reward? Well, we already know the character rewards. The character drops. Well, unless you mean like a level up reward. I doubt it would be a level up reward. That would be very strange. So I would imagine Air Formula Eagle is going to be a box you are, which is a bit of a shame because that means we're losing like a potential good spot for that. But at the same time, we get like a lot of box URs anyway in our mini boxes. So it's kind of whatever, right? But we already know the two drops he's getting, and that's going to be, oh god, what's the new name? Cyber Hammer Cop, I think it's called, and the Alligator Swords, not Alligator Sword, what's it called? Cybertech Alligator Spell card. Like, we already know we're getting them, so like there's that, I suppose. I would be shocked if it was a level up reward, let's put it that way, because everyone's Ace Monsters has always been a box UR so far. We have Cocktail Samurai, aka Whoop. Hello, Tomato, big fan from Madagascar. And there's Whoop just with the shitpost. Hello, Whoop. Welcome on in. What do you mean Air Eagle isn't worth the future UR Dream ticket? I just don't see it personally, but I guess we'll head straight on in. We're just going to, like, again, cover some of the bits and the bobs. So, I guess first things first, we'll talk about the speed stuff. We did just get some new speed updates. This is one thing there's always a bit, what's the word? Disheartening? Which is, we keep getting all these speed updates, which, don't get me wrong, I'm happy for the speed updates. I like the speed updates. Occasionally, they'll throw in something that I personally am really interested in. From the latest box, it's really just the Galaxy stuff that I think I'm interested in personally. But like, as Rush players, we're sat here just like, oh man, it would be really nice to get some Rush content, and then they're like, speed, 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 speed. And the really sad thing is that all of the speed only players who get like a decent amount of content flow are probably also in their bubble just like, oh man, another Rush thing came out, like that could have been speed. And we just sat here like dripping from a tap, like, please, please, Konami, give us something. I will take anything at this rate. We're getting to the point where it's like, we just got 2 new cards, right? We got Mystical Elf, which is going to do, let's be honest, nothing. I mean, there might be some, like, silly things you can do with it with Celebros and Legend Strike, but let's be honest, guys, it's not going to do anything. And then the Dragon Nails, Meteor Nail, whatever that new equip spell we just got from the Wave Scramble event. And we're like, how can we cook with these cards, right? We have had nothing in so long that we're like, there must be something we could do with these. I've seen people coping so hard that the new equip spell is going to actually be really good. And I'm just like, guys, I just don't see the vision. I just don't see it. I have a great content idea for the stream. Yeah? I would love to hear about your content idea for the stream, Boop. Reverse Masochist. Reverse Masochist was a fun time. The issue I have is Reverse Masochist. So I have a new PC. Well, I've had this PC for a long time now, so it feels weird calling it new. But Reverse Masochist is on my other PC, which is over there. And I've tried to get it to run on this PC, and it's just not having any of it. Like, it just refuses to run. And I've, like, tried troubleshooting it and tried a bunch of stuff. So, like, actually finishing Reverse Masochist probably means plugging in my old PC and playing through it on that. And then, you know, being done with it effectively. Average Rush player, how can I cook with Wasteland? Exactly. It is wild what we've gotten to here. Azurak announced Dynasty Season 2. We do a team tier list. I don't like the idea of that. Just because when you... Apple Tree just subscribed. Hello. Apple, welcome. Thank you for the Prime subscription. Do really appreciate it.
The Apple Tree just subscribed.
That was something else I do want to talk about as well, which is Shadowverse. That is something I do want to cover today because we are also going to talk a little bit about Vanguard today as well. So is it interesting that Apple Tree shows up as we're going to be talking about not Vanguard, Shadowverse. So hello, Apple, welcome. Yeah, I don't like ranking teams because effectively what it does is you're pointing out which teams you think are bad. And I don't think there is any positive way to put a spin on that. I think, realistically, it's rush duels. Any team has a chance to win. That is, like, fundamentally, like, underlying where it is. Now, do I think there are teams that are more likely to win? Yeah. You know, but I would just look at past performance and then rank them based on past performance and nothing else, right? That's how I would do, personally. Gotta be honest, I forgot there was a tomato stream today. I mean, I think it's not too surprising. I think in the same way that Konami has forgotten that Rush exists, I think it is fair that we start to forget about Rush content existing, right? So I think that's completely acceptable. Hello, Bunko. Welcome. We have Toti in the stream as well. UTS Tier 0. Right. If we're being, like, legit, like, which teams do we honestly think are, like, the strongest teams? Just looking at the last 2 leagues, it is Roman Fangos and UTS, right? It's just those 2 teams. RRF and UTS are, you know, they both made it to the finals 2 times in a row. Those teams are the best, right? Now, there are some caveats there. Like, not all the players from those teams have been, like, active. So maybe there's going to be, like, a little bit of a fall off. But then, like, just under that, I would put, like, every other team. Now, we did see the Japanese teams have a very dominant start, but they seem to have kind of slipped down a bit, right? And then just all the other teams, I think, are, like, at a similar level, just, like, slightly below, personally. So there you go. We have ended up doing a tier list, sort of. Imagine being known as Tomato's F-tier team. Yeah, could you imagine? Well, because I would hate to be like, oh, X team is just the bad team. They're the awful team. They're never going to win anything. They're in dog shit tier. Because all that does is make people feel bad with, like, no gain. Like, there's no gain for that at all, right? Well, I did play one round for them. And we did win that one, so I guess the analysis is correct. Whoa, Rush Duel Links isn't forgotten. You get a deck build and a field spell every other month. Exactly. Exactly. It's a shame as well, because January was sort of okay, right? January, we got a couple of, like, side cards, just, like, randomly kind of dotted around, as well as 2 deck builds. But, like, that's not enough if you give us nothing in February, right? It's like, come on, guys, what are we doing? Hey, I'm late as always, lol. Hello, Corey, welcome. I mean, we're just yapping, that's all we're doing, so you haven't really missed anything. Fangirls are mid. Well, I will say, fangirls are in an interesting spot. Obviously, Vault is always going to be just like a rigger, right? But effectively, I'm pretty sure Toti has just moved to UTS at this point. So we've lost Toti. Parko hasn't been playing a lot because he's been focusing on college. So, you know, that's 2 of, like, the better players down. Giorfio hasn't really been playing Rush lately. Like, we have a lot of players that have either kind of slept or left. So it's like, you know. You already went over the new OCG stuff? Oh, no. We're 11 minutes into the stream. How do you think we've gotten to the OCG stuff already? That's crazy. Hidden Bankai with the 5 stream streak. Excellent. Wasteland made the tier 0 deck even better. Parko needs to lock in on Rush. Screw college. I think preparing for your future is probably a little bit more important. Because, right, the issue is, if you're Parko, right, you've already gone to Worlds twice. You've already proved that you're the best player in North America twice. You've already won the Rush League twice, right? Parko has done everything. He's completed the game. The only thing he could do to, like, up that is to literally win Worlds. That is the only goal he can set himself now that is going to hold any kind of meaning to strive for. So it's like, I don't know, man. It's a weird one. It's like, if you're Quantum, right? You've already won Worlds. You've already got, like, the best achievement you could hope for. So it's like, you're kind of done, right? Now you're just playing for fun. You're playing the post game, right? I haven't moved. If anything, it's buzzed. I mean, it's one of those weird ones, right? Because I like the UTS guys. I think the UTS guys are lovely. There's obviously a lot more speed people in there now, and I haven't been engaging with them as much, like, or in that Discord server, because I've been, like, kind of busy for the most part. But I think they're all lovely, right? Realistically, if I did leave Royal Roman Fangirls, I think the only team I would really want to join out of the current pre-existing teams is probably UTS. Because I think UTS just has really lovely people. Obviously, they're all quite good as well, which is quite a nice bonus, right? But yeah. Baj is like... Obviously, I love Baj, right? I think Baj is a fantastic person to be around. Baj is always very sociable, which is really weird, because Baj, I think, wouldn't describe themselves as a very sociable person. But I love being around Baj. I think being friends with Baj is absolutely fantastic. And it would be sad to me if Baj did leave, like, the team socially, but I'd understand if he did want to. Winnable. Also, not only super excited for Gen 10 Pokemon, but also my hype for Pokopia went through the roof in the last few days. So much content, it looks so fun, like a game to put so many hours into. Pokopia is a weird game for me. I like Stardew Valleys, right? I like Animal Crossings, I like the Minecrafts, I like all of these sort of games. And I like Pokemon, right? So part of me is like, I should be more excited for this game than I am. Because part of me is like, it looks very Dragon Quest Builders without the fighting. And to me, if you took Dragon Quest Builders and took away the fighting, I'd be kind of like, I don't know. It's a weird one. It's a weird one for me. But what about 3 times? I mean, how many people could say they've been to Worlds 3 times? I mean, effectively, People that have... Right, I'll use the term earned, right? I don't know. I don't think that's fair. We're just going to go with people that have been to Worlds 3 times, right? So Giorfio has been to Rush Worlds twice. Parko's been to Rush Worlds twice. Quantum's been to Rush Worlds twice. I think it's just those 3. So if any one of those 3 doesn't make it back this year, which I think of the 3, Quantum is probably the most likely, because I think Quantum is the one least likely to try and go back to Worlds. But of that, it could set a precedent, right? Imagine like Parko and Quantum don't go back to Worlds, but Giorfio does. He'll now be the only Rush player to go to Worlds 3 times, right? Which is interesting. It's interesting. He doesn't have a gold icon. Who needs a gold icon? That shit's worthless, man. What can you do with a gold icon? You know? Yeah, he can't. Yeah, he can get a Nintendo Switch. I mean, that is what you'd want. Well, plus we haven't seen anyone winning the what they call the Deckmaster Cups, where you can get the Steam Deck, right? We had one Steam Deck was won by Iserius, and 2 were won by Mugi, I want to say. Now, Parker still makes time for Pocket. Rush is kind of pointless to play until World Championship qualifies. Yes, that is another thing that is a bit of a weird thing with Rush. Like, the GRFs are just kind of practice, right? It's just kind of a bit of fun, for the most part. Speed Bros. Hello, Serena. I'll tell you what, we'll give a shout-out to Serena. We don't give shout-outs nearly enough, so we're going to go ahead and give a shout-out to X Serena TTV. I've already spelled it wrong. Bam, there we go. We'll give the shout-out. We are in an ad break. And that should be the ads gone. Welcome back from the ad break. Yeah, Speed is a weird one. What do you guys think about the new box? I watched a lot of was it the Meta Weekly yesterday? I watched a lot of Grand Stream after the Monosync tournament ended. And it seemed okay. I don't know. Like, you guys having fun with the new Galaxy stuff? Are you guys having fun with the new gimmick puppets? You guys having fun with the new Live Twin? I don't know. Is anyone playing Live Twin? Is like Live Twin? Is that doing anything? Is Live Twin back, guys? Are we so back? I don't know. I've never been a big Live Twin player. It's just never really been my cup of tea, if I'm being honest. A new goal: convince Konami to bring Rush Duels to the West, then winning Physical World Championship. Oh my god, I want Physical Rush in the West so badly. You have no idea how much. Like that would be like, I don't want to say it's like a dream, but like it's close to a dream, right? I want that so badly, like so badly. Why Goha Rush this month? Always one Goha in a year. Ooh. I think we have what? Is it 2 Goha a year and 1 WCQ? I think that's the total that we get. So it's not that bad. It's not that bad. But hello, Kim friend. Welcome. I don't know, man. Rush Duel Links lost me. I saw Fire Dog and I was like, screw other starters. Right, we're gonna come back to that one. Alright. I am in a similar boat to y'all, where I think for the most part we can all agree Rush Duel Links is not in the best state. I actually don't think the meta is too bad, right? And I think the meta's been fine for a while. It's just been dull, right? There hasn't been a lot spicing stuff up. I think we got the D-Linker stuff, and that added like a week of excitement, and then we just kind of died down again. Because it didn't shake up the meta enough, I guess, is like the big takeaway. So like, I get it. It is frustrating, right? We haven't done anything team-related in so long, I forgot who's in the other teams at this point. That is true, Volt. That is true. I mean, there's... Obviously, UTS is the other big team. There was Rush Japan Purple, or Violet. That was like where all the Japanese players were. Then there was GF, which is sort of... I think GF is still going at the moment. So that's still a team. There was... Oh, what did they rename to? There was the, like, the Jinzo Zorak team, right? I think Hikaru was playing with them for a bit. Were they something of the sun? And they've rebranded, I think, to something else. We have Mateo in the chat. Tomato, where is our rush box? We shouldn't expect the rush box until we get Euro. And we know Euro's coming out just before GRF, so we're expecting it around then. And Sabu Ramen. We still have no idea what's going on with Sabu Ramen. I have no idea. I personally, I don't really care about Euro. I care about Euro in the sense that new character just in general is good, and other people are excited for it, so I'm excited for them, right? What I want is Sabu Ramen. Give me the noodles. Give me the noodles. I have to go, have to drink coffee and go to some classes. Have fun, Tomato. Thanks for stopping by, Whoop. Always a pleasure. I looked into Yu-Gi-Oh! TCG and was like, damn, this shit is cool. Are you talking about, like, actual TCG? Because, like, I have nothing against TCG, except it's really difficult to, like, get into, right? And obviously there's a lot of issues with certain versions of it, but I think Master Duel was, like, a different beast to the actual TCG itself. I think right now, if I was to jump into TCG, I would probably be playing Yummy. I think Yummy is probably the deck I would be playing. Because I think, like, I like the decks that aesthetically speak to me. So I don't know exactly how the deck plays, but I would probably do that. This box is very mid. I skip on speed. I mean, that's fair. I think speed is a weird one for me. I don't know what decks I'm excited for anymore. Because for me, it was Dinos. Then we got Dinos. Then it was Branded. Now we've got most of Branded. So now I'm like, where do I go from here? Right? I'm like, what am I now waiting for? Like, I kind of like the aesthetics of Cash. I don't really like Sprite, so I'm not really excited for that. I don't think I care too much about Tearlament. Maybe I'll really like Tearlament when it actually does come out. Maybe I'll play that and I'll just get on with it. Then there's like the Ishizu cards. They're going to be coming out soon-ish, you would think. Maybe I'll like them. We don't have the Agnistas still, right? Like, we're still so far away. We're still so far away from a lot of this stuff. It feels like follow-up to the last main, which is good, I guess. Hello, Gunkan Suship Shuri. Welcome, welcome. Yeah, it feels... I guess you could put it like a super mini to a mini. It's kind of how it feels. I faced Light Twin and Master today, if that counts. Tomato, we are getting over frames in TCG. Yes, I do think that is cool. Is that what we were referencing? Is that what we were specifically referencing? Right. In which case, yes, I think some of them look awesome. Some of them look kind of mid. Honestly, the best play in Rush is... to into the last week before qualifiers, see what's the top tier and go full into tier 1, only grinding gems and events the rest of the year. That is sort of true. That being said, in the last GRF we had, like the top 2 decks were decks that people weren't even really considering part of the meta. So that is something to take note of as well. They were like, oh, these are like tier 3 or rogue, and then they ended up coming first and second. So, you know, take that as well. 3 GRF per year. There you go. There's Toti with the facts. The Light Twin cards are good, but no skill means it's not great. When Fiendsmith comes into play, maybe they'll see play. How far away do we think Fiendsmith is, though? Because I would imagine... Again, they don't have to release in the exact same cadence and the exact same order that TCG happens, obviously. But Fiendsmith should be a little bit further down the line, right? That's still going to be after, like, Malice. That's going to be after... what was the other big deck around that time? Yubel, I want to say? Or no, because I think Malice might be after Fiendsmith, actually. I'm trying to, like, keep track of this in my head. Kings of the Sun, Hikari, and Rush Rhythm Crew, Zorak, and Hikaris. There you go. Those teams, then. But I think they keep rebranding their team names, right? Yeah, Tomato, I gotta be honest, I fell out of love with Vanguard and Rush. You fell out of love with Vanguard? No, Vanguard bros. What were you playing, Vanguard, out of curiosity? Were you playing it on, like, Deer Days? Were you playing it on, like, the online simulators, like Area and Vang Pro? Or were you playing physical? I'm genuinely curious which one you were playing. Rush Rhythm Crew, Zorak, and Sheena's not Hikari. Also, my bad. I see. We have Quantum Cubes in the chat. We'll do an exclamation mark Quantum. We've always got to give a shout out to the man, the myth, the legend, the world champion. I wanted to play GRF, but if it's still Music Princess Art Quad, I don't know. I feel exactly the same. I like playing GRFs. I really like playing GRF. That being said, do I want to queue up for 3 days? Bear in mind, I can't play all 3 days anyway. That's just not happening, right? I'll play maybe 2 days. And maybe, if I can stretch it, like 4 hours a day. So I'm going to get like 8 hours of it. But do I want to spend 8 hours just playing like Aqua Mirrors or Music Princess Mirrors? Like that's why I'm really hoping we get this box right before it comes out. Right, that's what I'm hoping for. Yummy Tri-Brigade best deck. You heard it here first. Serena is never wrong. This is This is literally a fact at this point. When is Serena ever wrong? No one can actually point to and show me evidence of Serena ever being wrong. Therefore, Yummy Tri-Brigade is best deck. I kind of want to build Hero and TCG. It sucks, but Dark Claw is so funny. The last time I heard anything about Hero and TCG was when MBT, like, I think he went undefeated in Swiss at a YCS. And that was it. That was like the last time I'd ever heard anything about Hero. Versus could be cool in Duel Links. What's VS? I'm trying to think what VS is. I'm like Virtual S. I don't know what VS is. I might just be being a dumbass. That does happen a lot. We actually get the database stuff. That would be really cool, and it would make shake up the meta finally. Noodles, Red Eyes, Meteor, Wind Normal, Harpy, XQE. Harpy and XQE would drastically change everything to the point where they might make Red Eyes, Meteor, and Noodles obsolete, which would be so sad if that happened just immediately. But I've been worried already because they haven't even announced Cyber Ramen. I actually think Euro is a fine solo unlock. I think he's a solo unlock. I don't know if I'd be happy about it. To be honest. I play with friends on Sims. Ah, I see. So I've played a decent amount of Vanguard area, but I haven't played any Vang Pro. Apparently Vang Pro is meant to be better. But I still really like Vanguard. I just haven't played the modern format very much. So I guess you could argue that I've also fallen off it. But I've just bought Dear Days 1. So I'm going to go back and play like 3-4 year ago format. And that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to have fun with that. But I really just like playing those sort of, the card game RPGs. I really, really love that sort of stuff. Fiendsmith is a wild TCG-wise. The Dear Bellstar, Lore Cards, Cash Tier, Sprite were all before Fiendsmith. I would expect them all to come out before Fiendsmith, right? Because it was not long after Tier and Cash came out that I think we got the Ishizu cards, right? Who said Vanguard? Best dead game. Corey just subscribed with Prime. Thank you, Corey. But hello, Bismuth. Welcome on in. I don't know.
66 just subscribed. With Prime.
I think
Time for this again. XD also looks like they really want Charmers to be good in OCG. Looking at the IDs, they will have like 20 plus cards in their first
20
wave.
plus cards.
4 full ORRs and 8 normal ORRs.
That is crazy. 20 cards is actually just kind of nuts. Mind you, I suppose we've already seen a lot of them, right? We've already seen like 12 or something. Plus whatever cards they revealed today. But yeah, Vanguard is a weird one for me. Because Vanguard still has its anime going. And I still watch the Vanguard anime. I've been really enjoying that. So part of me is like, the game can't be doing too bad if the anime's doing okay. Because like, Yu-Gi-Oh's lost its anime, right? So I don't know. It's a weird one. I haven't really checked out like tournament numbers, but from my experience, the game's like doing okay, right? It's not doing because it used to be just the 4th best card game. Now it feels like it's dropped down to like 8th or 9th best card game, as in like top selling card games, which is kind of sad because again, I really like that game. I really, really do. I just hate the direction of Standard. Like if a new Nirvana is released, I'll come back. I mean, we got a new Nirvana not long ago, right? I want to say it was like, what, 6 months ago? 6 months to a year we got a new Nirvana? A Ninja support, Vendread support, Skull Servant support are decks that would get me back into speed. Ooh. I think, though, you've chosen 3 very interesting archetypes there that I'm not sure are going to get support. I think, realistically, you're better off choosing an anime deck, and maybe that will get support, right? That's kind of the best you're going to get. True, Vanquish Soul. Okay, Vanquish Soul, that was the one. Oh, and speed run Call of the Haunted stuff into Duel Links and Master Duel. That's funny. Is that like the new retrain Call of the Haunted stuff with like the new retrain of Pumpkin King of Ghosts? Vanguard anime right now is garbage because of Arkina. Why do we not like Arkina, out of curiosity? Like, do you just not like him as a character in general? Because I don't mind him. I think his deck is cool. I think his deck is like the most high roll deck of all time. And that is just very funny to me. But for me personally, I've always preferred like Rika. Like I think Rika is an awesome character. Michiru, I think, is amazing. God, who else have we got in the anime that I really like? Like, because there's characters I like, but then there's characters that like I really like, right? Obviously Danji. I was a big fan of Danji. Like I love Danji. Rika fell off, bruh. I mean, kind of. The thing is, we just had, this is going to be, like, light spoilers, if anyone hasn't watched the latest couple of episodes of, the Cardfight Vanguard anime. But The Phantom Riker, I thought was so lame. I was like, you are so lame. You are not Riker. You are not my Riker. I felt offended. They gave him Riker's theme song. I genuinely was like, why are you doing this? How could you? You can't stand where he stood. It was so sad. It was so sad. But it is what it is. I think his deck was, like, interesting, I guess. Like, where it's sort of, like, using the, God, what was his mechanic called? The something dress. Not the overdress. Reverse dressed? I can't remember what it's called. But his dress mechanic. And they kind of, like, put a new spin on it. I thought that was interesting, I guess. Rah! Hello, Ninjago. Welcome, welcome. Any Galaxy Eye Photon Dragon deck? I don't think we've seen any doing super well, unfortunately. They should have combined Akina and Riker and made Akia. Or Ika. Oh, Ika, I see. I don't know about that. A normal Riker sucks even more, bro. Drake form. I don't know. I like Riker. Like, what's... Right. Riker has been a fantastic character, except they used him as a stepping stone in the last season, right? Outside of exactly that, I still think he is amazing. Akina's fights are so boring. I don't hate his fights. I don't know. Like, the only issue I have is what I said before, which is his deck is like high roll central. His deck is just, I'm going to spam crits, and if I get a crit when I'm about to die, I don't die, so Lamau. And also, I'm going to put all the crits back in my deck, and I'm just going to keep critting you again and again and again. It's just crit the deck, which is like... I think it's kind of funny, but I guess it's because, like, he's never been my favorite character. Like, I like Taizo. Like I saying, I still like Riker. I still really like Michiru. I'm trying to think out of the main cast who I like now. There's not a lot of main casters that I think are particularly great in the current season. But I'm not a huge fan of the whole, what is it, like, inverse world or whatever the hell the gimmick of this season is. I don't know. I get what they're trying to do, which is like, what if we took a bunch of characters and then we basically gave them retrains of all their cards, but in a different nation? Because in case anyone doesn't know, the way that Vanguard works is it used to be separated into clans, which was like, you know, I play a dragon deck, I play a warrior deck, I play a beast deck, right? That's kind of how it used to be. So everyone would play their own decks. And then in the latest update, which came up when it was Overdress, they changed it. So now everyone is divided into 5 nations, and then your deck belongs to one of those, but you can still be very unique within your own nation, but now you can use support cards that go across all of those different nations, right? So what they did was they basically said, right, oh, you play one who's in, you know, the tree, forest, fairy nation. Okay, we're going to retrain all your cards into a different nation. So now they're all dragons or something, right, instead. Which was an interesting idea. I just don't know if it was executed particularly well, personally. But it is what it is. Otherwise he sucked. Then put all power on Refista. And because no one plays Elementaria, I win. Taizo should have won Fated Clash. I think Taizo is such a cool character. I really, really like. I also really like his deck. I think Wellstrom is such a cool deck. Why are you Duel Link Meta website for? Because we were talking about this, and then we got sidetracked. That happens a lot here. We just start yapping, and then we get absolutely sidetracked into other topics. It just happens. That's just how we do. And now is gonna job so hard on Friday. Now is playing such a busted deck that I can't imagine her losing unless the writers want her to lose, right? I give it a few days for people to cog with it. Okay, so also Akina should have been a Phantom Fighter, so now could beat his ass up. I don't know if I'd like that. I didn't like it in... God, what was the first season? Legion. I didn't like it in Legion when they made Kai the main character, and they, like, messed up the main character. I wasn't a big fan of that. But, getting back on topic. Can we stop sidetrack? And focus on the stream? How about you get timed out for being rude? There you go. Bye. Bye-bye. Alright. So, now plays garbage, but now plays the really good dragon deck, right? That was doing really, really well in tournaments, right? So, I don't know. It's a weird one. It's a weird one. Current Divine season is good in the alternate universe, where there were more episodes. Yeah, I don't know. I really liked last season because it was like a tournament arc. And I love tournament arcs. The only issue I have with tournament arcs is when you don't get to see all the fights. So, like, it annoys me when we, like, speed run a tournament arc, right? So I really liked that season other than that. But I don't... It's like I didn't like the, what was the weird arc where, like, Aichi's sister... Was it even Aichi's sister? I think it was Aichi's sister. And, like, they were, like, not even card fighting. They were just, like, magical girls. Like, I'm just like, I don't get it. That's not my cup of tea, personally. Like, Do Tomato, that was a year ago. Listen, right? When you get to a certain age, right? Time moves very quickly. I found out today, because my brother told me, that Mario Odyssey came out like 10 years ago. And I'm like, nah. No, that just came out. That's not that old. Apparently it's like 10 years old. I was like, damn, how did that happen? There's so much potential that they have to shove to the manga. I haven't read any Vanguard manga. I have literally read 0 Vanguard manga, so I have no idea. I personally have no idea about that. Volton being correct. Hello, Ursus. Welcome on in. Man, to be honest, the problem with Arkina for me is new season is that he has no real motivation being the main character anymore. Yeah, I mean, his whole motivation before was to save his sister. Then he saved his sister. And then it was like... It became, do I want to be a pro? I'm not sure. And then he decided to be a pro. Almost because of, like, external forces. So he hasn't had any actual drive for himself in a very long time. And now, once again, he's had, like, purpose thrust upon him. Because it's, again, like... the Phantom World. We've got to fix this, otherwise everything's gonna go bad. And now he's obviously got his own, like, self goal of, like, trying to save everyone, which I can't imagine is actually gonna work. So, are we long overdue for a new 3D Mario? Oh, yeah, we are long overdue. I mean, yeah, we should have got one with the Switch too immediately, really, but we'll probably get one soon. Rotato Saws, new lore. Also, for a new Zelda and Dragon Quest 12. I mean, Dragon Quest 12 should be coming out soon, right? I'm pretty sure that's been announced or something. I'm an Erika fan, so I would have wanted her as an MC. Maybe, I don't know. Erika's deck, I don't think suits main character. Like, Erika's deck is the ultimate, like, villain deck. If that, I know that sounds weird, but like, it's really good for the MC to be like, oh god, what is she doing now? I'm going to take an extra turn. And it's like, you know, it's one of those moments, but I think the main character doing that is not as interesting, right? I think Arkina has a good main character deck. The issue is it's just kind of boring in how it works. Now, we didn't have any info for like 5 years, and that was only the title of the game. Oh, that's a shame. That is a shame. But yeah, I don't know. I like Vanguard at the moment. I don't know how the game is actually performing. But again, I do want to talk about it. I guess since we're talking about Vanguard now, we'll skip ahead to this quickly. Because this is something I did want to mention. I have just bought this, which is Vanguard Deer Days. I bought it because it's 92% off. And I was like, I'm going to buy this game. It is mixed. Mostly positive overall. The main issue this game has had is it almost never goes on sale. And it costs like $70, right? This is like a $70 game that also has a bunch of DLC. Now, I paid £4.24 for this game. Now, I don't expect everyone to know what that means. That's like $5 is like the easiest way to say it. If I wanted to get all the DLC, it would cost me £437. That is like what? That's over 100 times the cost of the game. Which is so wild. It is so wild. So if right, bearing in mind, some of this isn't super relevant, but you want to at least get all the different characters. You want to get, like, all the extra cards. So if I wanted all of that, it's still going to cost, like, over 100 quid, right? Which is absolutely ludicrous. For a game, by the way, this game has already been sequelized. There's already a Deer Days 2, right? So I'm going to play this as just, like, a single-player RPG. I'm just going to have fun with it. But, like, it is ludicrous that this game is not even the main Vanguard game anymore, and they still want that much money for their DLC. It's actually ridiculous. It's actually ludicrous. 92% off, more like cheap days. Akina is also stunted by there not being any real support for Ryzeal since Rafista. Why aren't they supporting the main decks? Because every opponent that he plays against, every single opponent, is because they've had a deck update, right? Like, every single person he plays against is like, oh, I'm using the brand new deck. They are the advert, the trailer, to try and sell the new cards. So it's weird to me that that is not the case, right? Is it single player only? No, this game has multiplayer. It's got PvP. You can play against other people. I assume the online servers are still going, but if you try to like queue into random opponents on this game, you're not going to find anyone because everyone's moved over to Dear Days 2, right? Dear Days 2, though, is really expensive. Like, if we go and take a look at Dear Days 2, is currently 60 quid. So this is 60 quid currently. Again, mixed and mixed. Again, never goes on sale. And again, you want all the DLC for this, that's another 400 quid. So, like, it is extremely egregious with how they price their games. For effectively, you know, you could just go play Master Duel for free, right? Now, Master Duel is a free-to-play games as a service with loads of microtransactions, but this is also an online game that does updates and charges microtransactions. So, like, it's a weird one. To finish this off now, as MC would work for me, also Tomato, you gotta play Bruce. I really like Bruce, but I want to play Orphist. I think I'm gonna play Orphist. It's mixed because of the paywall DLCs and PvP, but the campaign is good. Yeah, I've played the demo for Dear Days 1, and I really liked it. The only issue I had with the gameplay was because it's built with a gamepad in mind, it doesn't play super well on keyboard and mouse. And what I mean by that is you can't, like, you know, like in Duel Links, you could just grab a card, drag it up, bam, it's on the field. You can't do that in this. You have to, like, cycle through to the card you want, select it, and then say what you want to do with it, which is annoying. Because if it's come to PC, we have a mouse, right? We could just use the mouse, but they very clearly just ported it. They didn't try and develop it for PC, which is a bit of a shame. But yeah, he wins every game because of Rafista, because it's the deck's only real win con now, which is kind of sad. Holy WTF, Dead by Daylight levels of DLC. Is the single player only. The funniest shit, though, was Michiru fighting too much and he's just being yeeted out of the story. Well, he just had a new fight, though, right? Like, in, like, last week's episode, so it should be free to play, Lamau. Hello, Islet. Welcome, welcome. How is everyone? I'm doing pretty good. We went on a little bit of a rant because we started talking about Vanguard. Because Hidden brought up Vanguard, and then we just started going on a massive tangent about the anime, and now we're talking about the video games. Because I just bought... not Time Stranger. That's a different game I've been playing. I just bought Dear Days 1 because it is 92% off. So I'm going to play this as a fun RPG because the way the game works is it's like part visual novel where you get to like chat to people, you get to like explore the town, and you get to play fights. So I've been also watching Rarity play Dear Days 2, which has been really, really fun. So I want to, you know, play this myself. I've been waiting for this to come out, but I've been like, because this game when it first came out was like $70. And I was like, I don't, like, even now it's been put down to like £53.09. And I was like, I can afford that, but I shouldn't have to pay that, especially when they charge me an arm and leg for DLC anyway. Time Stranger stream on Sunday, yes. So I guess we'll talk about that quickly as well, since we're kind of on this tangent anyway. I played Digimon Story Time Stranger. We're right at the end of the game. I had planned to finish it on Sunday. That was the plan. What I didn't expect was all of the super bosses to be really boring and all just HP sponges. So, if I had understood how the super bosses were going to work, I would have just done them off stream. I would have just killed them off stream. They were not good stream content. It was just like 3.5 hours of grinding through massive HP bars, and like each enemy, like every other turn, would use a move that just wiped out the team. So you had to spend like a turn and a half healing everyone up and reviving everyone. And then you go back to kill it. It wasn't very fun, if we're being completely honest. So my opinion on this game so far, the story, really good. The optional side content, for the most part, really weak. Like really, really weak. So I think I'm planning to actually finish the game on Sunday, in which case we are doing no side content. All the side content is 100% done. So we are just story until we finish the game on Sunday. That is the plan. But I've really been enjoying this game. I've been really, really enjoying it. Digimon is like very nostalgic for me. I've been watching the new Digimon anime, which I've been really enjoying, so that's also really cool. You know, the fact that those two things have come out pretty much at the same time, I think that was obviously very, very clever by Bandai. I don't know who's in charge of Digimon these days, but I think it was very, very clever to release both at the same time because it kind of jumps up the excitement. So there is that. With all of that said, special set, you are number 90, Galaxy Eyes Photon Lord. So I still want to get into the anime of Zexal. I have a problem, which is I really like Kite, or Kaito, depending on which version we're talking about. I really like that character. So I really like his cards, but I don't have a lot of context for a lot of the Zexal shows because I haven't watched Zexal, right? So the plan is, once we finish Reigns, we're then going to watch Zexal. That is the current plan. The issue is we have to finish Reigns first. So we'll be continuing our Reigns watch along tomorrow. We just watched... Did we end on... What did we end on? Well, did we end on Spectre versus Lightning, or did we get another duel after that? No, we had a... Are we watching a Bowman duel? No. Oh, it was Windy, wasn't it? Windy is dueling against Soulburner. That's what we're currently doing. That's where we're currently at. But once we finish that, which shouldn't take too long, we're then going to watch Zexal. And then once I've watched Zexal, I'll have a lot more context for a lot of these cards. We began a new one. Yeah, exactly. But saying that, I have a vested interest in the Galaxy Eyes cards because, again, I really like Kite. So, if this card is a Photon card as material, it can be destroyed. It can't be destroyed by card effects. You can only use its following effects. Photon once per turn. Pick one for... Oh, it's this one. I thought this was attached to a skill. So we got this card as a separate bundle as well. Okay. That's interesting. Because I remember this was in one of the leak skills. As, like, being attached to it. Like, you got it via that skill, right? We began a new one, yeah. You can do... what the TikTok kids do and watch Vrains on the upper half of the screen and Zexal on the lower part. I could not. I wasn't trying to be rude, at least. I just see the Photon Dragon. That's fair enough, Ninjago. All right, since you said that, I will say maybe a little bit trigger happy on the old timeout, but it did come across as very rude. But yeah, we just yap. We just yap here. That's all we do. We just yap. So realistically, there's not going to be any gameplay today. We're just going to talk. But Photon Lord, I think this card is like really... I don't know. Is this card actually good? That is the next question. Like, I understand how this was being played in TCG, but is this being played well in... I assume this must be seeing play. All right, let's check out Dwan's deck, since it's Dwan. Is this with the new stuff, or is this too old? This was March 3rd. Okay, so this is today. So already we're not seeing Photon Lord in here. What else in here is new? Is Tachyon Primal? Is this from the new box? Then he was taken away. Yap Matosaurus. Exactly. You can't play it in Tachyon. He gets Dragon Locked. Oh. Is that because of one of their cards or because of the skill? Doesn't look like... During your turn, you can only normal summon or special summon level 4 or 8 light or dark dragon monsters. Okay, that's fair. Dog, why is the 99% Tachyon deck dragon banned? Well, it's because the new ban list hasn't come into effect yet, right? Because the new ban list doesn't come into effect until... Was it the 17th? When does the ban list come into effect? We can go find out. We have the technology. March 10th. So we've got another 7 days. So we're seeing lists from people who are using them in tournaments where we're using the new ban list. Good generic rank 8. You probably play it or Hope Harbinger as your limb 1 if you play Horus. I think you'd more likely play Hope Harbinger, right? Because I don't think he's bad, right? In terms of, like, just straight up. But he is slow, right? So in order to get his protection, he needs to have a Photon card. Actually, maybe he's not too bad. Because in my mind, I was like, because you're going to summon this off of the skill, right? Because there's a skill that gives you this for free. But if you're not getting it for free from the skill, you don't get any of the downsides of not having material. Because if you summon this from the skill, you get a 3000 body. Then you have to wait till your opponent's turn to yoink a card and give it a material. And then you, again, can't use the negate or the quick effect until your following turn. So it felt really, really slow. If you're just summoning it normally by overlaying 2 8s, you don't have to deal with that downside. Swartz Dragon Locks, Myziel, and Kite were the reasons I watched Zexal. Well, again, I have watched all of the Mizar versus Kite duels. So I've watched those ones at the very least. Infinity Locks. I feel bad for Rush players. I feel bad for Rush players. Photon Lord is unlimited, so you can play both. They have deck builds. It's fine. No, it's not fine. My bad. I just assumed it was limit 1 because it was a bundle. I mean, that is a fair assumption to make. Don't worry, we're getting new normal monsters in a week. You can immediately rank up into the full armor XCs. I don't even know what the full armor XCs is. Because this is the big one, right? The Divine Golden Shadow Dragon Dragluxion. This is like the big one that everyone's playing. First from the extract, you can add a Galaxy attacking card from your deck to your hand, which is just amazing. Just a +1 after you just make a boss monster ready. You can attach 2 materials from this card, special summon a rank 8 Dragon XC's monster with 3000 attack from your extract by using this card you control as material. Then you can attach 1 Galaxy monster from your extract to it as an additional material. This card's just amazing, right? This card's just so good. The only thing they got was Element Hero Pack. Do you think the first or second was better as a duel? Ooh. I think it is hard to top the spectacle of dueling on the moon. So, like, as a whole experience, I would say that is probably the better duel. If you were asking me which one, just like in terms of the cards played, was better, I couldn't tell you. I'd have to go back and watch them again. Galaxy Eyes Photon Full Armor Dragon. That's the black one, right? Where is he? That's Neon Tachyon. Double of those. I don't think it's in this deck specifically, which is why I can't see it. I think it's the black one that pops a monster, right? That's full armor. I believe in you. There we go. This one. Yeah, I remember this guy. Okay, Tomato, so we agree. You can slap Cypher Blade on top of the free Photon Lord. Ah, right. So you can go, like, Blade into full armor, right? Because that was the old combo, right? The old combo was, if I recall correctly, you go into, like, Cypher, and then you go into, like, Cypher Blade, and then you overlay that into full armor, or you do the other way around. But either way, you would end up just, like, make an Xyz, use the effect, pop a thing, go into another one, use the effect, pop a thing. Man, I'm getting flashbacks to back when this was like a tier 0 deck. And it was just all because of this stupid thing. Can you help me with a duel quiz? I mean, I'm probably not the person to ask, to be honest, but someone in chat might be able to help. I mean, I'm still asking for help on understanding how this deck works, so I'm never going to be the right person to ask, unfortunately. But still, pretty cool, pretty cool. Let's check out the box in general. So this is Prime of Stream. We've got about 7 minutes until the Nintendo stream, and I do want to go and watch that. So we are going to be watching that in about 7 minutes, but for now, we'll go and check this out. From Duelix, attach instead of summoning the Photon. Oh, he's getting there. It's like, I remember the, was it the Hungry Burger Duel quiz that we had on Duel Links? And I remember the solution was like, you had to just do something in a different order. It was just like, instead of using this, you just use this, and then absolutely everything's fine. Leela Gaming. Globe, are you a Light Twin player? You got to be honest, are you a Light Twin player? Hello, PTRG. Welcome, welcome. Galaxy Eyes Photon Dragon one. I mean, I haven't done it myself yet. I don't expect much from this stream, but maybe 1 to 2 cool indie games. Yeah, I expect almost nothing. It's just a little 15-minute thing, but it's just something for us to chill and check out, right? Attach Afterglow to double the attack. There we go. Toti is immediately just giving us all of the insight into how to complete this duel quiz. They do everything except an actual mainline Nintendo Direct. I mean, that's fair. Like, we just got the Pokemon stream, so, like, it's going to be overshadowed by that either way, right? Leela is a negate. What the hell? I mean, yeah. Negate the opponent's effect. But it's only if they try to hit your live twin card or activation, right? So, then there's Rogue Doll. Reveal a Gimmick Puppet Xyz monster in your extra deck, especially summon both this card and one Gimmick Puppet monster with the same level as the revealed monster's rank from your deck. If this card is sent to the graveyard except for the hand, you can add this card to your hand. So, does this, if this card is sent to the graveyard except from the hand, does that work when you remove it as Xyz material? I would assume... maybe. It's a weird one. I think, because when you detached, there was like a weird rulings thing right before, where before effects like Sangam would trigger, but then they were like, no, it doesn't count as being on the field. But I still think this would count as going to the graveyard. I'm just waiting for the Digimon Con stream. When is Digimon Con, out of curiosity? I am curious about it. Only to protect the small guys. If we get the second season pass. I mean, I don't really think any of the DLC for Time Stranger is worth it, personally. I think it's like, if you're like a massive Digimon fan, if you just want absolutely everything, I think then like it's pretty good for you. If you're like a casual Digimon player, if you're just checking out Digimon Story Time Changer, I don't think any of the DLC is worth picking up, personally. Especially in Galaxy Photo Dragon. You misplayed there, never. You're supposed to attach it. 22nd of March. Woe Tomato, now you need to calm down. What do you mean? What do you mean? There's nothing wrong with that. Click no. But yeah, Pokemon Direct low. I mean, Gen 10 Poketopia is great, but the rest was pretty lackluster. So, I'm actually curious. We are all, right? Everyone here. We play Duel Links, right? For the most part, we're all Duel Links players. So we play a competitive PvP mobile game. We do have a competitive PvP mobile game coming out for Pokemon soon called Pokemon Champions. I am actually curious. Is anyone in chat, are you guys going to play Pokemon Champions? Is that something you're interested in? Or is that like a, no, it's just, I just don't care, right? Because I've always been a Pokemon fan, right? Since I was a kid, since Pokemon Red came out, I've always had some sort of attachment to Pokemon, a bit of nostalgia. I also think, like, I enjoy turn-based RPGs. So I've always been kind of in on the whole Pokemon thing. So, like, I look at that and I'm like, I'm kind of excited. I'm kind of excited to play Pokemon Champions. Like, I might try and get actually into that. The only downside is it's coming out on Switch first, and then it's coming out on mobile later. So I'm probably going to have to play it on Switch at the start, and then transition over to mobile when it comes out on my preferred platform. Anime series they announced a year ago, no new Mystery Dungeon. Mystery Dungeon is a cool one. I would like a new Mystery Dungeon, but I'm not like a die-hard Mystery Dungeon fan personally. The Sangam thing was a misruling when the X's were introduced. Some judges thought X's material were considered on the field. Yeah, I mean, you can understand the ruling, right? It does make sense. Jesmon, X, and Allforce X is worth $30, yes. I think, though, again, if you're a casual Digimon fan, I don't think it's going to be worth that. I think you, Hidden Bankai, are the target demographic of that DLC, right? Hell yeah, my prediction was kind of right on Pokemon Champions. Yeah, I mean, personally, I didn't think it would make sense to release a separate Pokemon game to handle the competitive side, because it almost is like, oh, you want to play competitive Pokemon? Well, you have to buy our RPG, right? It made more sense, and then if you're going to release this Pokemon Champions thing, make it some, like, simplified version, because then you sell both, right? But now, it's like, if you're only interested in the competitive, you only have to get Champions, right? So it's interesting. I'll test it. The monetization is already bad. I mean, yeah, we'll see, right? We'll see how it goes. But I'm going to give it a go. I'm going to give it a good go, I think. I like competitive Pokemon. Is Champions a gacha? If yes, then no. It's going to have some sort of games as a service thing, but like the way you're intended to play it is that you play the mainline games and you send your Pokemon to it, right? That is how you're supposed to play it, but you can play it as some sort of unlocking Pokemon and playing it just like that. I play too many gachas and I'm not really that into Pokemon, so no, that's fair. That's absolutely fair. Speaking of, this is going to be starting soon, so I'm going to hit refresh and see if this... There we go. So we'll be watching this. I love gambling. Me too, buddy. I mean, I actually don't love gambling, but I think it's fun to gamble. It's not a gacha. It's a competitive simulator for every official Pokemon tournament from now on. Hello, Badge. We were talking about you earlier, Badge. Welcome to the stream. I am the... Why is it... Oh, it's because I've made it big. That's why. I made it big for me, and that made it small for you. So there we go. This is better. This is easier. There's a Nintendo Indie World stream starting soon. Yes! It's right there in the title. I don't know where your title is. You might not be on a desktop, so it might be hidden somewhere, but hello, Baz. Same time, it's combined with many microtransactions. Pokemon! Hello, Quicks. Welcome. I used to play loads of 6v6 singles Pokemon from Gen 1 up to Gen 6. I don't know if I can be bothered to learn it again. Yeah, I played a decent amount of singles and doubles. I think I prefer singles overall. Right, I don't know how loud this is going to be. We're going to play it by ear, so let's see how this goes.
Peggy 18.
18? 18 on a Nintendo stream? Are you crazy? This is like... Okay, for a second there, I was like, oh, this is a weird intro game to show off. Okay, it's very like Saturday morning cartoon meets anime. Oh my god, is this like a skateboarding game but you're on a bus? This is giving me like Subway Surfer meets like Tony Hawk's vibes. And now we're just a drone. I'm very much not the target demographic for this game. I don't know if any of you guys are the target demographic for this game. I mean, that looks cool. I'm not gonna lie. I do like the whole like castle robot crab thing. This is just a fever dream game, isn't it? This is like Zuma energy written all over it. Densha attack. Densha attack. From Barcelona, okay.
Com heu vist, a Dance Attack viatges en un
I mean, that game ain't for me. It's not for me.
executant trucs amb estil per aconseguir la millor puntuació mentre lluites contra bosses i alliberes...
Why were you talking about me? We were talking about different Rush teams. And, you know, your name came up. I really hope Gen 10 is better than 9. I mean, fingers crossed. I like Gen 9, to be honest. Like, I genuinely thought Gen 9 was like... It was a good foundation, but a bad executed game. So if they build off of Gen 9, I'm really excited. Depending on how monetization is monetized, depend how much of my time and attention I give to it, that's absolutely fair. Try to make Galaxy Ice Photon Dragon deck in Duel Links meta since I don't have the card yet. Yeah, that's a good way to do it.
All aboard for the latest indie world. I'm Marissa.
And I'm Thomas.
Hi, Marissa.
We're excited
Hi, Thomas.
to showcase another packed lineup of new indies headed to Nintendo Switch 2 and Nintendo Switch.
Forgive me, but I can't wait to introduce this next game coming to Nintendo Switch. Let's take a look.
Dream Ocean. That dog has a bow tie. Oh my god.
안녕하세요. 프로그래머 류성중입니다.
마이리를 퍼피는 실제로 제가 입양에 키웠던 강아지 봉구와 함께했던 이야기에
Okay, so these guys are from Korea.
게임입니다. 가장 개인적인 것이 가장 창의적인 것이다 라는 말처럼 마이리를 퍼피가 만남과 이별 그리고 재회를
My Little Puppy.
우리 모두의 이야기로 여러분들의 마음속에 남게 되면 좋겠습니다.
게임 속 귀여운 강아지들은 팀의 모든 아티스트들이 쏟아부은 놀라운 노력의 결과물입니다.
마이리를 퍼피가 강아지를 좋아하는 세상 모든 분들의 마음속에 감동으로 기억되는 작품이 되면 좋겠습니다.
감사합니다.
Okay, you've got my attention.
There's
Oh!
an old saying that when you depart from this world, the dog who went ahead will warmly welcome you.
A heartwarming hope at the core of the wonderfully wholesome My
I mean, I'm always a
Puppy,
sucker for
a new
animal
adventure
games.
inspired by the director's own Welsh corgi.
I love animals
Play
so
as
much.
Bongu, a rescued dog and bestest boy who, after a simple yet joyful life, crosses the rainbow bridge to doggy heaven.
After what seems like an eternity, Bongu awakes from a nap to a
Little
familiar
Dalmatian in the
scent,
back there.
his daddy.
Embark on a journey to meet Bongu's dad, an expedition out of
Puppy
doggy
Bros,
heaven
is this dog
and
heaven? Yeah,
into
this
the
is dog
afterlife
heaven.
That may hold unexpected
I like cat.
dangers.
I like cats as well. I think cats are also
Just
absolutely
as Bongu's
amazing.
dad once rescued him, it's his turn.
But I
to
love all
return the
animals.
favor in My Little Puppy, bounding its way onto Nintendo Switch, May 29th.
Well, it's interesting. Why does the MC look like Wolfie?
Next up, let's take a look at some
It might
indies
be
headed for
Wolfie, you never
Nintendo
know.
Switch 2, including some also headed to Nintendo Switch.
I'm so excited. Heave!
Ho! go.
Okay, it's one of these
Ho to!
like 2-player
Introducing
puzzle-ish
the high-flying
games.
follow-up to the ultimate friend-flinging party game.
Grab hands, arms, or even heads to form chains of up to 4 players. Then grapple and swing to reach the goal, avoiding lethal hazards and the deadly
I feel
void
like this
below.
sort of game
Each player
was
needs to grab
made
and release
for like
at
2
just the right
YouTubers
moment
to get
form
together
chains. If anyone loses
and just
the
make a
grip,
series
it
on
can
it,
send
and that
the
is it.
whole group
Like, that
to
is the
victory.
entire purpose of these
There
games.
are 8 themed worlds to explore, thrilling exotic locations like a medieval land, a space
How Genesis
station,
is streaming?
and of course,
Damn.
a kitchen.
In each one, play with
Is he
brand
streaming
new
Duel
mechanics
Links?
like rocket
Oh,
navigation,
he's not streaming Duel Links.
coordinated cookery, and plenty of other surprises.
I haven't seen
Swing
How
into
streaming so
action
long.
with local 4-player co-op.
We'll probably raid
or
into How
online
when we're done.
multiplayer. A franchise first. Plus, game share is supported, so if one player has the game, they can share it locally or online with up to 3 other players. Get ready to get
Friend slot.
in
It's sort of friend
Behold
slot.
2,
Friend
launching
slot
on
usually
Nintendo
is
Switch
more
2
of the
and
sort of game where
Nintendo
like you
Switch
have
this summer.
a lot of like exploration and a lot of like in-game voice
At the
act,
end of
like
the day, there's nothing like
what do you
closing
call
up
it?
shop,
Like
throwing on some
in-game
comfy clothes, and
voice,
Dungeon diving for wondrous
rather than like
relics.
sat on
I
Discord or
was
whatever.
going to say having a nice hot cup of cocoa, but that works too.
In Moonlighter 2, The Endless Vault,
Like something the
continue your
wonky
double
quartet
life
would play.
as a
Exactly,
crafty merchant by day
exactly.
and a fearless
He quit
adventurer
Duel Links
by
a few
night.
months ago. Yeah, it's a
Will is
shame.
back in
I mean, no one ever
business
truly
after
quits Duel Links though,
interdimensional
right? You just take a
collector
break.
seizes
It's just how
control
long
of
is the
their
break gonna
beloved
be?
Village and dungeons. Will and the other townsfolk are forced to find a new home.
Now, settled in the town of Tresna.
Now
it's up to you
this
to set
is
up a
more
new
my
shop and
my
grow
cup
it
of
into
tea.
the thriving
I
heart of the
love
village's
games where you
prosperity.
run a shop so
Dive
much.
into vibrant dimensions
Like
that bring
Resetia
with
was one of my
shiny loot
favorite
and
games,
pesky enemies.
especially when I
Then
was in like
vanquish
college
them
and
using an
university.
extensive combat system with different weapon types and flashy combos.
Don't forget your trusty backpack. It's your best friend while collecting loot, so make sure to carefully arrange your treasure to maximize your profits.
Trust your instincts to plot clever routes through your dungeon.
I screwed over my
runs.
opponent.
The
I played
further
Master
you
Duel and
delve,
Dueling.
the greater
Nice,
the
nice.
rewards. How far will you dare to go?
After each escapade, put your hard-earned
I used to
treasure
play
on
a lot of
sale.
Master Duel. I
That's
don't really
where
play
your
much anymore.
shop owner charm will shine. Grow and decorate your shop. Get to know your customers and set your
I
prices to
love
score
this
the
style of
perfect
game
deal.
so much.
Go from castaway to friendly neighbor. And
I
find
don't know
a
how
new
I feel
home
about
among the stranded.
twin stick shooter
In Moonlighter
dungeon
2,
crawling, but
The Endless Vault, opening up shop on Nintendo Switch 2 this year.
Hello. We're the team behind Widow. Do you remember a time when your backyard and neighborhood streets felt like the entire world?
Хоть мы выросли в разных местах, нас объединяет одно общее чувство.
Это Фокси, сердце нашей истории.
did the
И она
first
так-то
guy,
собрала нас
was he
вместе.
dubbed over by someone
Denn auch
else,
wenn
but
wir
he was
erwachsen
matching
sind,
the
ist diese
lips?
Magie aus unserer Kindheit nie verschwunden.
So from all of us
Master
here,
Duel is
we
fun.
hope
I just
you
like
enjoy the
TCG more right
game.
now. I mean, that's
Thanks.
fair. I just Master Duel
Wouldn't
always
it
has
be
so
nice
many
just to
issues.
slow
Like I still hate
down
Max C.
and get
Like, I
back
just
to
I
when
just
things were simpler?
It
I don't
sure
know, man.
would.
Just never liked
Well,
Max C
in
since I started playing Duel
you
Links. I was
do
always like,
just that. In this cozy diorama puzzle game,
but I understand
you
as well.
assemble
It's a bit of a
wooden
cop out
scenes
to be
piece by
like
piece, like a 3D
Max C
coloring book.
game.
As you place objects
You know,
in their correct
oh,
spots,
your
each
argument
scene
is invalid
slowly
because
fills with
Max C
color and
exists.
comes to life,
I think that's a little
revealing
bit of a
charming
cop-out, but
animations and
I
delightful
understand it.
surprises.
Follow the story of Foxy the Fox and Ben the Frog through a series of interconnected
Build Dracotel
dioramas,
and Shadow
each
Engine, nice.
capturing a unique moment from their
It's my
shared
favorite
adventure.
tomato. Hello,
The game
Victor.
adapts
That's
to
my favorite
your
tomato. He
pace, while
sounds
the narrator's voice
like he's
keeps you
doing
company.
good with the
Plus,
voice.
plenty
Yeah, I'm
of
still a
funny
little bit bunged up,
characters and
but like,
silly emotes are
you
sure
know,
to
we're
put a
getting
smile
better and
on your
better every day.
face.
We'll be back to
And
100%
mouse
soon.
controls are also supported
I hate
on
Ash.
Nintendo
That's fair
Switch
as well.
2. Settle
TCG is
into a
pretty
world
cheap to
that
get into
comes
right now,
together,
happily enough.
one
I remember
piece at a
people wanting to
time,
ban
and
Ash. I think it depends what deck you're playing though, right?
slotting
Some
onto
decks will be more
Nintendo
expensive
Switch
than
2
others.
and Nintendo Switch this summer.
My issue is I don't really have a locals to go to.
The
So like, even if I
Unchosen has
got
returned.
the physical
Your
game,
village
I'd
has
have nowhere to
been
go.
captured. All
Like,
your
the
friends
same
and
reason I don't
family
play
are
physical
trapped
Vanguard.
in
I have no
corrupted
locals.
crystal, and it's all up to you to save them.
Shoot, that sounds like
The
an
only
adventure.
thing I have a locals
mini
for is
shoot
Magic the
adventure.
Gathering. And that's
Take
it.
control
There's
of a
nothing. There's
swift
no
and
other card game I
responsive
could
spaceship
realistically
as you blast your way through this modern
play.
twin-stick
I'd
shooting
literally have
twist on
to
the
travel
classic
2
8-bit
hours to
adventure
get
formula.
somewhere where I could
Overcome
play a
bosses
locals.
in
And at that
intense,
point, that's not a
bullet-filled
locals.
battles by finding primordial powers that soup up your combat abilities.
You can also upgrade your ship by leveling up, finding various
Just
items,
branded players in
and buying
disguise.
equipment.
I mean, I think
Don't forget to
Farfa
rescue
just
your
put out a
adorable
video
friends.
talking
They'll
about
all
banning
help
Ash.
you in their own
So like that's an
special way.
argument that's been going on
Powers will
forever.
also unlock exploration abilities that
Yo,
open
is
up the
that
map bit by
Icy
bit,
Gamer
unraveling
in
a
the
beautiful
chat?
world
Exclamation
to
mark,
discover at
Icy.
your own pace.
Hello,
Explore
hello,
lush
Icy. Welcome,
caverns,
welcome.
ancient
You've caught us
temples,
watching
and
the
sunken
Nintendo
cities,
Indie
each
Direct.
environment full of its own
It's not on
unique
for very
treasures,
long. It should be finished
challenges,
soon.
and secrets.
Take on the unchosen in.
Did you get your new Red Eyes card yet?
Fly
I have
onto
one
Nintendo
copy
Switch
on one
2
of my
and
accounts so
Nintendo
far.
Switch later today.
But I don't think it's going to see play anyway. Ooh. I love the whole stop motion animation type thing. I love the kind of creepy... What's the... It's like Tim Burton aesthetic, I guess is the way to think of it. The Tim Burton, like, stop motion. Ah, it's bad, I see. It's not necessarily, like, bad. It's just I don't think you're going to find room in the deck for it. I need naps, I gotta go. Well, thanks for stopping by, Vic. I only like Pendulum. Yeah? Only Pendulum? I need to buy 2 Fallen of White dragons for $100. Farfa is really big hit or miss, in my opinion, in terms of takes.
Hi, I'm Bryce.
I think,
And I'm
for the
Demo,
most part,
and we're
he's just
devs
there
on
for
the team making
entertainment. So as
Rotwood
long as
here
you're
at
having
Play
fun
Entertainment
watching
in
it, that's the
Vancouver,
most
Canada.
important thing.
We grew up
Hey,
playing
these
games
are the,
shoulder to shoulder with friends.
This is the
Inspired
Don't
by
Starve
moment-to-moment
guys.
strategy of fighting games and the big bosses of RPGs, Rotwood was developed to recapture the spirit of those good times.
We wanted progress to feel like it comes not just from new gear, but from you, the player, actually improving, so that each hunt you learn something new that inspires ideas for your next run. We've poured ourselves into Rotwood, and we hope you enjoy it.
Chaos rules!
And big old corrupted beasts drool in.
Rotwood, a brand new side-scrolling brawler from the
This is
studio
giving me
behind
like
the
massive
Don't Starve
Castle Crashers
series.
vibe.
Your home's been overrun by some hyped-up hostiles, so it's time to take up arms.
Oh,
and
stop
dive
by.
into
I'll
the
see you
fray.
tomorrow, if not
Master
later.
a
Yeah, well,
diverse
tomorrow we've
combat
got the
system that
watch along
rewards those
continuing.
who
So
sharpen their skills. Want to get up close and crush some enemies? Wield a hammer.
Want to be a deadeye that snipes baddies from afar? Take aim with a bow.
Practice and perfect combo attacks for each weapon type to reach your destructive potential.
Experiment with gear combos to
I
refine
don't.
your build.
I have like some
Earn
nostalgia
epic
for
loot
this
through
sort of
victories.
game
Then use it to
because of
face
things like Castle
ever-increasing
Crashers,
challenges.
like Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle
All the
game
help
back in
you
the
can
day.
get. Boss fights are not
I don't know
just
if I
a
actually
test of
care
strength,
about
but
playing
of
this sort of
wits.
thing these
Study
days.
attack patterns carefully to find their
Like maybe if I was
weaknesses
still
and
in
use low-placed
university
strikes to
and I
hit 'em
had
where it
like
hurts.
friends coming round like
little
3 times a
extra
week,
muscle always helps
and we
too.
could play
Grab
local
up to
co-op a
3 of
bunch
your
and enjoy
friends, either
that. But
locally
like,
or online, and face the rots together.
Choose your weapon.
I just
and
don't think
get
I'm the
ready to take on
demographic
the
for this game
frenzied
anymore.
foes of Rotwood.
Yo, is that
Hacking and
Julius
slashing its way
Caesar?
onto
Yo,
Nintendo
what's
Switch
up,
2
dogs?
as a
Hello,
console
hello.
exclusive. Later
You've caught us
today.
watching the Nintendo Direct thing, the Indie World Showcase. I shouldn't call it a Nintendo Direct, that's going to be very misleading. Would be cool to get No Rest for the Wicked for Switch announced here, but that would probably take another year for PC beta. That would be cool.
Most of the time, I'm wondering if
Oh yeah, I've seen this game a bunch. This is another game which I think is not meant for me.
The teenage experience is unobtainable.
This is kind of like last game of the show energy. Like this is a big-ish game.
Because you know the perfect song for every moment.
Like it's very
What song
artsy,
would be playing now? I don't think it's been written yet.
but we still got another like 2 minutes left, so.
It's time to shine the spotlight on this brand new action RPG from the makers of Guacamelee and Nobody Saves the
I
World.
thought this was the Guacamelee, guys.
The evil Sorcisto has
I
consumed
played
the village
Guacamelee
and
when I was
infected
still
the
at
world with
university.
deadly
And that game was okay. It
You
was,
are the
it was
lone
fine.
survivor
I don't
of
think I would have bought it
Sorcisto's
myself.
red
I only had it
fighting
because it was
to
from like
reclaim
a
the memories of your people before you succumb.
humble bundle.
But that same power can also be turned to your
Remember being able to
advantage.
fly as a
As you
teenager,
progress through the
like they
psychedelic
do in this
western
game?
landscape,
Yeah, I mean, if you take
you'll
enough drugs,
blight
anything's
by
possible.
defeating enemies. The higher your blight, the fiercer enemies become, making combat harder, but also more rewarding.
Combat is nuanced and deadly for players of any level. Carefully time your attacks to weave through enemies, chain together
I mean, this looks
combos,
okay.
and perform powerful finishers to defeat punishing bosses.
Uncover dark mysteries as you
How do
explore
I
this surreal
card
and
in Duel
vibrant
Link
world,
Meta Deck Builder?
backed by a
How
haunting
do
original
you
score.
card? Well, how do you build a
Upgrade your
deck?
hero at checkpoints, or by talking to key characters on your
'Cause
journey.
you can do this.
And if you need a helping hand, a friend can drop in via local or online multiplayer for some two-player
That's the best I
co-op
got.
action.
Harness the power of blight and unravel the mysteries of a twisted world in Blighted, creeping its way onto Nintendo Switch 2 this autumn.
Hi, I'm Justin from Prophecy Games in Atlanta, Georgia.
Hi, I'm Jess.
This is probably the last game being shown off.
The feeling of progression you get in roguelikes, and we were inspired to
So this is
create an
Dead Zone
FPS roguelike
Rogue.
in our favorite genre, sci-fi.
Sci-fi
An
life
FPS
imagine futures
roguelike
just
on the
out of reach,
Switch?
And in Dead Zone Rogue, everyone pulls you deeper into that world, starting when you awaken on a mysterious ship.
We've worked hard to craft rich, immersive atmospheres, unique enemies, and snappy gunplay that leaves a lasting impact.
We hope you enjoy playing Dead Zone Rogue as much as we do.
A spaceship overrun with biomechanical creatures, an arsenal of modified
The idea
weapons,
of playing
and a mysterious origin to
an
uncover.
FPS
That's
on the
what
Switch
awaits in
just
Dead Zone
does
Rogue,
nothing
a new
for me
sci-fi shooter
whatsoever.
that combines tight, satisfying gunplay with strategic progression.
Select missions and squad up with friends, or fight solo.
Like, I'm very
through a
old school.
series of
I
challenging
like
rooms
playing
with
FPS with a
support
mouse.
for mouse
I know for a lot of
controls
people
using
that's
the
going to be
Joy-Con
like
2 controllers.
sacrilegious, but
Gain
like
perks and
I
permanent
just don't like
upgrades
using
by
a mouse if
defeating
I'm going to
enemies
shoot a
and
gun.
bosses in high-intensity loops.
With hundreds of builds and a variety of foes, each run feels epic and unique.
All of this is backed by a rip-roaring original soundtrack.
I mean, the music's alright.
Fight, revive,
Nothing crazy.
Adapt, repeat in
It's not very memorable.
Dead Zone Rogue, emerging from the void on Nintendo Switch 2, March 17th.
Before we go, let's check out some more exciting indie games heading to Nintendo Switch 2.
Oh, okay. I was told this was
Nintendo
going to be
Switch.
15 minutes long, but this is going on a little bit longer than Brave Seasons. So it's a Animal Crossing / Farmville game. Looks neat. The only issue I have with a game like this is the market is so oversaturated with games like this. There are so many of these. Unrailed! Unrailed is such a cool game. Unrailed is so fun. You just keep, like, destroying, like, what's in front of you so you can place more track. I mean, this looks neat, I guess. Old school just playing FPS with a mouse? It is! That's what it always used to be. It was mouse, and then it got big on with Halo. I think Halo was the big, like, okay, now we play FPS on a console. Because before it was like Counter-Strike 1.6. And then obviously Call of Duty overtook the entire gaming landscape. Tomato, you might be too old. I never claimed that I wasn't, okay?
That's all for today's... Thomas, are you taking notes?
I have to. It might be a clue.
A clue for what?
The last game.
Okay, here we go.
Welcome to Mount Holly, the mysterious...
Oh,
manor with
blueprints!
doors and 45
They're bringing
shipping
blueprints
rooms.
out. Okay, that's cool.
Blueprints,
This game, by the
you
way, is
embark on a
amazing.
first-person,
If you've
genre-bending
never
journey
played this game
filled
before,
with
I
a
highly
unique
recommend
mix
it.
of mystery,
But this is a
strategy, and puzzles that
this is a
weave together to
very
create an unpredictable
in-depth puzzle
Mansion
game.
resets every
So you've got to be
day, and
really
every doorway
wanting
becomes a
that kind of
choice.
experience.
So, manage your resources carefully to further your discoveries and get closer to finding the fabled Room 46.
Use mouse controls with the Joy-Con 2 controller to probe and poke at the manor's secrets, unraveling mysteries by discovering letters, diaries, and other revealing materials.
Yeah, I love
Take
this game. I
notes
love this game
and
so
draft
much.
your own adventure in Blueprints, available on Nintendo Switch 2 later today.
And it comes out today, okay. I mean, I'm not going to get it. I don't even have a Switch 2, but...
Now that we've solved that mystery, that's really all for today's Indie World. We hope you enjoyed the games in today's showcase.
A big thank you, as always, to our indie community and partners for bringing their craft, adventures, and imagination.
What's in Room 46? You'll have to get the game and find out.
Nintendo Switch.
I personally hate playing on keyboard. I feel like I'm turning my hand into a spider. I mean, I've been a PC gamer for the longest time, right? So like my hand is naturally in the spider claw formation, like pressing all the buttons. I was a big MMO player as well, and obviously if you play MMOs, you're using like all of the buttons. Surely it doesn't last beyond Room 46. I mean, it takes a very long time to get to Room 46, let me tell you that. I'm old. I passed the age of 16, exactly. Corgi game was peak. I mean, that game did look cool. Doggo with the game? Yeah, the dog game was really cool. Now I cope for Xenosaga, Xenoblade another day. Yeah, but I doubt it was ever going to be in the Indie World Showcase, to be honest. This was always going to be like the very small games. Right? Even if we consider Xenoblade... Oh, Baj! I actually want to talk to you about this. I found out that I actually do have access to Xenoblade 2 and Xenoblade 3. I do actually have access to both of those games, which means I can actually play both of them. I don't have access to Xenoblade 1. I don't know if that matters as much, but I can play the other two. Our first game is competing with Subway Surfers. Exactly. Where were we? We were looking at this before, right? This is where we were at. It's weird that they've put Shen Shen. So, we just got, was it Juju? As the reward for Wave Duel Scramble, I want to say. And now they've obviously put the rest of the virtual world in here. I guess that's fine. It just seems a bit weird to me. Not getting it, but yay, doggo. Exactly. That's exactly my thoughts. First game is Surface Digimon Replacement, also known as Xenoblade, confirmed. Now, I don't think I want to jump into Xenoblade right after Digimon. I don't think that's probably a good shout. Xenoblade's games are like FF, standalone, but references in places. Well, I think as well, I don't think I care too much about Shulk. Right? I don't know. Like, what is, like, the best Xenoblades, right? If you were telling me, of all the Xeno games, so Xenogears, Xenoblade, there's Chronicles X, or, like, there's all this other shit, right? Out of all of those, what would your tier list be? Like, not even tier list, just, like, which game is the best, and then, like, in order to the worst. Because I think if I'm gonna play Xenoblade, I think it's better that I play the best one first. Because that will give me the best first impression, and then I would be more likely to go and play the other ones. DB Xenoverse 2. Alright, did I say Xenoverse instead of Xenosaga or Xenoblade? Xenoblade 2 is extremely liked in the community, but other people would say that it's the worst game in existence. Right. What's your favourite one, Badge? Let's go with that. Xenomorph. Exactly, the Xenomorph games are my favourite ones too. So there's Galaxy Eyes Prime Photon Dragon. Let's read this one quick. Battles during damage calculation quick effect, you could detach one material from this card, and once per battle, this card gains attack equal to the combined attacks of all Xyz monsters currently in the field times 200. Gains attack equal to, okay. During that damage calculation only, if this card in the owner's control is destroyed by its card effect, what Galaxy Eyes Photon Dragon as its material, you can special summon this card during your second standby phase after activation, and double its attack. This seems weird. This does seem weird. This is like Big Bungus attack, and then like if the game turns into a grind game, it does something cool. 3. Xenoblade Chronicles 3 has been my favourite for many reasons. Okay, maybe we'll try 3 then. I haven't really heard anything about 3. When 2 came out, like Scottish Cat Girl was everywhere. Like everyone was like talking about, what was it, Mithra and Pyra, and everyone was like, this game is like the Xenoblade game. I've heard next to nothing about 3, which is why I was curious. Tomato didn't even let get my joke, I swear to God. I got the joke. We just didn't see a point to like... Oh, was it Welsh? I always think it's Scottish. You know, I know Scottish and Welsh people, and I still confuse them. That's how bad it is. Tomato, there is Dino support in the box. You talking about Grenosaurus? Because I don't count Grenosaurus as dinosaur support. Kiss a kill. Deal. I just really do not care about the live twins, man. I just do not care about them. Gimmick puppets, again, are a really weird one for me. I don't have like the anime attachment to them because I haven't watched the anime, right? He is, trust me. He's really not. I don't know. I don't know how to tell you this. Photon Delta Wing. This card is normal summon. Just press summon 1 Photon Delta Wing from your hand or deck in defense position. Also, you cannot press summon for the rest of the turn, except light monsters. Your opponent cannot declare an attack while you control another way. I mean, it's kind of weird, I guess. Never like Live Twin. He inflicts 500 damage. He does inflict 500 damage. That is something that he does do. I can confirm that. I don't know. Is anyone excited for anything in this box? Like, is anyone like... Is VW, any VW fans? Is VW doing anything? Is Gimmick Puppet doing anything? In my mind, I feel like the Photon Galaxy stuff is like the best stuff in here, but I don't know. There's also not much VW in here, is there? We got Nian Nian. Gimmick's always amazing. Wish I had the gems to play them. I mean, there we go. Burn card, Trickstar support, exactly. Galaxy and Puppet might do something. More of Galaxy, since Puppets is just FTK. I hate Gimmick Puppets when they just gave them a field spell that searches and protects their FTK in the TCG. Yeah, it doesn't seem like a very clever idea, but I guess it is what it is. I guess we'll quickly check out the tournament analysis. This is going to be post... So this is from February 23rd. When did the ban list get announced? So this was February 27th. Okay, so this is not going to be an accurate representation of post-ban list, which is a bit of a shame. But it looks like Traptrix is still on top. Who would have thought? Who would have thought? Tachyon's doing alright there to keep up. I'm surprised B-Trooper's down here, to be honest. Now the question is, after... Like, have we started seeing an uptick in Shadow? It doesn't look like it. Just the one Shadow doing really, really well. Oh, no, there's two. Two Shadow. Because I'm trying to work out how many of these tournaments were after the ban list changes, right? What happened in Quantum Dailies, bro? I mean, I guess... Alright, we'll just wait for the ads to go away again. Three, two, one. Welcome back from the ads. Yeah, like these tournament results are interesting, right? So we're seeing a lot of Traptrix, obviously. We got Traptrix, Shadow, Tachyon, Traptrix, and then just randomly, it's like, yeah, Dark Magician just won Starry Cup. Don't worry about it. Only the first one that was listed was before the ban. Oh, okay, okay. Everything else is post. Quantum also makes the goofiest tournaments. What do you mean? Having the best deck be the entire top 4, doesn't that make it sound like this is the most meta-relevant tournament out of all of them? Like, I'm just saying, this looks like the meme... Actually, saying that, it won 2 different tournaments. It's only winning Starry! Why is Dark Magician doing nothing except in Starry Cups? Is Starry Cup the new meme tournament? What's happening? What's happening, guys? Why's that? Quantum Cubes is cool. Quantum Cubes is cool. We love Quantum. Quantum's great. But it has been a joke in the community for the longest time that Quantum's tournaments are meme. Therefore, everyone has to always reference them as Quantum meme dailies. That's meme tourney number 1, Starry. I don't get how Dark Magician won Starry Cup. Bro went Seal's Pass. How did that shit win? Seal's Pass is a strong opener, okay? Don't underestimate the power of Seal's Pass. Haven't you heard the Starry Cup, Starry Meme Cup? I haven't heard of the Starry meme. I've only heard of the Quantum meme. But I guess it's because, like, I watch a lot of Gryan's content, but I don't tend to watch a lot of the tournament content because, 1, it's usually on at, like, quite a bad time, and 2, obviously I'm not as invested in the speed meta as I am in the rush meta, and Gryan doesn't do a lot of rush content, right? Beats pure yummy for sure. Real. Then we had the rush side. I mean, there's nothing too crazy going on here. Obviously, we're seeing Jointech come back, which is quite nice. We saw Yaden win Quantum Rush. Oh, right. Because this was posted after that, there's only the Quantum Rush. Okay. So we have had a couple new tournaments since this. We have had the Quantum Rush, the Now Cup, and the RDL Weekly 58. So we do have a few more tournament results, but yeah, it's pretty much normal, right? The big difference is that we did see Music Princess do really, really well in the Now Cup. So this is kind of how the pie chart looks right now. Why wasn't I invited to that? I would have actually won a speed match. You and Gryan are Mr. Tomato and Mr. Potato. I mean, Gryan is lovely. I love Gryan. Like, Gryan is... He's always so like upbeat, right? And he's always running so many events. He's always like casting different events as well, even if he's not actually hosting himself. And obviously, you know, that's what we really need in the community. One tournament this week. Tomato, the equip spell for Red Eye's Rush works for you. What do you mean by works for me, Flack? Do you mean like does it work, or do I think it's good? Because I don't think the card is super great. I think it might see some play, right? I'm not going to sit here and just be like, card is garbage, never going to see play. I, though, am not convinced it's going to be good. Why don't you host the Tomato Cup? I've been thinking about hosting a tournament. The issue is finding a time to do it. And also, if I did, I think I would host it like once a month rather than like once a week. And then have a bigger prize pool. I think it would be better to have like a $50 prize pool, but only do it once a month, rather than have like $10 prize pools, but do it once a week, right? Because the other thing is my my schedule can be a bit awkward with trying to stick to something consistent every week. Also, if you did stream Xenoblade Chronicles 2, I may need to help you since the tutorials in the game doesn't have terrible navigations sometimes. Again, I don't think we would be jumping into streaming another big JRPG. What I might do is stream a little bit of Card Fight Vanguard Dear Days, but I don't want to like just stream it every single week. I don't know. Where's Psychic? Psychic, unfortunately, is a bit of a meme still. What the heck did I just enter back in on? What do you mean, what did you enter back in on? It's fine. That's better. What's your profession, bro? I'd rather not go, like, too much into it, because I think, depending on what your profession is, having too much information can make it quite easy to, like, dox yourself. But let's just say I work in healthcare. Let's go with that. Tomato only hosts premium tournaments. Exactly. The original Xenogears is good, especially for the robots. Tomato is an OnlyFans model. Yeah, I'm part of Only Fangirls. It's part of the Roa Romans Only Fangirls. Nice, me too. Nice, nice. Mental health care. I see. Hopefully that's going well for you. I think Red Eye's new skill doesn't include all fusions, and I think it's a mistake by Konami. The thing is, I don't think you would include... I can tell you right now I'm not a doctor, because doctor requires many years of medical school, and I went to university studying advanced programming. So, did not study for that, I'll tell you that right now. Shadow Health Minister. Dr. Tomato sounds cool. Exactly, real. But yeah, this... Again, I don't even think this meta is that bad. This is, again, very small sample size, but like this is looking pretty good, right? Music Princess, High Tech, Aqua, Jointech, Matarian, Seven's Road, and Elemental Hero. Yeah? I mean, the only thing missing from here is D-Linker, right? Tomato is a PT. The only thing I can think of with PT is the horror game made by Hideo Kojima. PT, like, physical trainer? That's the only other thing I can think of. Oh, personal trainer. Okay, yeah. I mean, personal trainer is not a bad job to have. I've known a couple of PTs in my time. They're all lovely people. You play like games like Dark Souls or Ronin? Yes, I love From Software games. From Software is probably one of my favorite game developers. I love Bloodborne. I love Dark Souls 1, 2, and 3. I love Elden Ring. Love Demon Souls. Love all of that. Tomato is Portuguese? He's most certainly not. I gotta be honest, Tomato, it seems like a psychologist for people who got salty after Gaia Batarian meta. Yeah, that's just what I do in my downtime, right? We just counsel people on how to deal with the mental burden of having to lose to Gaia Matarian. Me too, you should stream a Dark Souls run. Maybe? Like, I'm not, like, fantastic at those games. I'm, like, competent, I suppose is the word. I wouldn't be, like, super against it, but I don't think it would be something I would do regularly, right? It would just be, like, a one-off sort of thing. But yeah, meta fine. So the other thing I did want to talk about is some of the new Pokemon stuff. So we'll watch this quick. So this is the Pokopia stuff. Obviously, we talked about this earlier. But Pokopia is something I'm interested in. I don't know if I'm actually going to play the Pokopia game. But I am interested in it. This was the latest trailer that they showed off a couple of days ago. Because after this, obviously, I do want to talk a little bit about the new Pokemon Gen. Pokemon Animal Crossing? Kind of. It's like Dragon Quest Builders. It's also got like some Minecraft in it. It's also got, you know, a little bit of Animal Crossing, maybe a bit of Stardew Valley in it. It's just like comfy the game. It's just a comfy Pokemon game. You should hold a stream that's hostage scenario, holding the Konami employees hostage responsible for releasing Rush content hostage. Yeah, I think you just really want me to hold people hostage, Manicus. I think that's what's going on there. So many more infos for the game the last 2 days extra. Yeah, I don't want to go too in-depth with it. I kind of just want to watch the trailer for this one. We've already kind of spoken about this a little bit. Doesn't this game have stupidly high reviews? Yeah, I've seen that as well. There's been a lot of reviews going around that are saying it's very good. I'm glad that my boy Tangrowth finally got a job. That's what we need. Thank God Tangrowth got a job. Yes, highest rates Pokemon game of all time. I mean, well, we should give it time, right? We'll wait until it gets some user reviews. Is this a children game? Yeah, this is a Pokemon game. All Pokemon games are effectively children's games. But to be fair, so is Yu-Gi-Oh! Yu-Gi-Oh! Is also a game for children. So like, we shouldn't judge too harshly.
Of course, you can't give your all on an empty stomach. It looks like Riolu wants something to eat too. But how
no, it's not. It's a Pokemon game, so people in their 30s. I mean, you're not wrong. The nostalgia aspect is going to get people in their 30s and 40s playing this game. The way they present this and how they speak. I mean, that's just how Nintendo does everything, though.
That silhouette.
The thing is, most of the people playing Pokemon games at this stage are going to be adults. But I think what they're trying to do is bridge the gap so that now parents who played Pokemon when they were children are now likely to introduce their kids to Pokemon now. Because there's still new Pokemon games coming out, right?
Everyone calls it Chef Dente.
So, like, this game will be played by kids and by adults with nostalgia, right? That's kind of the two conflicting demographics.
Some dishes will even
Pretty sure it's a horror game, exactly. I don't know, man. Children don't know what a chain link is. I don't know. I knew what a chain link is when I was a child, when I started going to tournaments. I started playing Yu-Gi-Oh! Tournaments when I was a kid. Yu-Gi-Oh! Is more difficult, more thinking strategy. I see. That's their target. Yeah, that's how I feel about it anyway. I don't know if everyone shares that opinion. But like, I still like Animal Crossing, right? I still like Stardew Valley. So like, this is still the kind of gameplay that I would get on with.
There's someone here too.
Human Ditto is nightmare fuel, so I can understand. Exactly.
Whoa! You can transform into objects too! That was a fun game of hide and seek.
And you can play Prop Hunt.
And
then you can build.
You could even build something this big.
It's Minecraft, guys. It was always just Minecraft. I tried Animal Crossing, it's way too slow for me. I mean, that's fair. The whole point of Animal Crossing is it's just comfy. It is just meant to be chill, vibe, relax. That is the entire game. If you're trying to like speedrun it, you're just not going to enjoy that game at all. Pokemon becomes really complicated in VGC. It does to an extent. So I've played competitive Pokemon. I've played like singles and doubles competitively in Pokemon leagues. And I will say they are difficult to get into, but when you're actually in, they're very simple, right? It's more of a knowledge check than like a skill check. In the same sort of way that Yu-Gi-Oh! In a lot of ways is also a knowledge check, right? Most of the time, the difficulty in Yu-Gi-Oh! Comes down to like, oh, I've never seen your deck before. I don't know how your cards interact with each other, right? Whereas in Pokemon, that can kind of be the same thing. I've played Pokemon Stadium on the Nintendo. I mean, yeah, Pokemon Stadium was a great game, but it's very, very old now. I don't know what it is, but I've always hated Olimar. I have a friend that is, like, his favorite game of all time is Pikmin, so he would want to pick a fight with you. But yeah, I get it. He's a weird character. That was the best one. I mean, I really liked it, especially with the 3D animations they had. It's easy to get into, but very hard to master. Yes. To an extent. I would say it's harder to get into Pokemon because it is very daunting having all that information thrown at you at once. Once you're in, once you understand a lot of the base level, it's not super complicated, right? It then just becomes like playing Yu-Gi-Oh! Where you just net deck strategies. So rather than net decking a deck, you net deck the Pokemon they're using with its IVs, with its ability with the item they're using with the moveset. So it's just kind of the same thing. Game is like 400 plus Pokemon, all fossils. I'll put some music on while we wait for this. Legendary, mythical, many different zones. We happened to pick a song where there's no music actually happening yet. Come on, music. You can catch up. Different zones and dungeons. Also, the horror theme isn't too much off. This is post-apocalypse Kanto region. All humans died and the Pokemons are now in the ruins of the world. We even have all the citizens and landmarks from Kanto here that we can rebuild. I mean, that's interesting. That's very interesting, then. So the other, like, I guess more exciting news we got was this, right? So I guess we'll just chuck this on. So this is Pokemon Winds and Pokemon Waves Generation 10. So for a lot of people, this is going to be the more exciting of the two announcements. I'm excited for this. I'm cautiously optimistic though. Because I really liked Scarlet and Violet, right? Now, I understand there were a lot of problems with those games, but fundamentally, the foundation of the game, I had more fun with that than I did with Sword and Shield. So I am looking forward to this because theoretically, this is going to be taking that foundation and building on it, and could have a lot of really interesting things going on. But plus, it's a Pokemon RPG. I'm going to enjoy it either way. I like JRPGs. I like Pokemon. Therefore, it's just I'm going to like it regardless, right? Did Dark Master Zork enter Kanto? Exactly. That's canon now. Always looked like a Yu-Gi-Oh sort of puzzle game. Yes. I mean, it kind of is in a weird way, right? This bit, I think, looks weird. I don't know why we're showing this. Game looks 10 times better than the last gens, like Scarlet, and I like the setting. Well, the issue is, we still don't see a lot going on, like, in terms of, like, places. There's, like, one big city they show off, and then a bunch of, like, empty space. But the empty space looks better than the empty space from Scarlet and Violet, right? Like, there's, like, empty forest, empty valley, this is the big city-ish looking thing. And then everywhere else is just, like, empty. Now, again, being empty is fine, having an open world is cool. The difference is, how much stuff are you going to populate the world with? And I think the empty space we have in this game, it looks so much better than the empty space that we had in Scarlet and Violet. So much more diverse terrain, like there's different elevations, there's a lot more trees, there's a lot more like rock formations going on. And I think it does look a lot better because of that. But, again, fundamentally, it is a lot of empty space. That is what we're looking at. So, like, I'm cautiously optimistic. And then here we have the new starters. I'm sure everyone has their favourite already. In fact, you guys right now, while we're watching this, tell me what your favourite of these three starters is. Which one do you guys like the most? The dog is funny. Water. I think there's going to be fans for all three. I don't think there's like an obvious, like really bad one. I think they're all quite strong designs. Pombon the goat, fire, Brout. There we have a Brout fan. None, I don't like any of them. Oh, human, no. Pombon. Yeah, I have to admit, I am a Pombon stan, personally. I'm a big Pombon enjoyer. But I also like all the fire types. I choose the fire or water, Totodile. I mean, Totodile's a great starter, just not from this generation, right? Totodile's always been a weird one for me. There we go, we'll just get them both. We'll get them all up again. I don't know, man. I think, for me, Pombon is my favourite. I think my second favourite is Gekwa, and then it's Brout. But look at Pombon, man. He's so cute. He's so adorable. And again, I always like fire types. I've always been a big fan of the fire types. Can't be wrong, so anything in chat saying another starter is wrong. Exactly. I mean, we established this earlier, right? Pombon, but I'm not planning to play. I will play this game, right? I will enjoy it. That being said, I do not think this game is going to blow me away. I do not think this is going to, like, revolutionize Pokemon or anything like that. I do think this is going to be fine. Haha, you cannot post links here, Corey. There is no ability to post links in this chat. Is that a green Torchic? Kind of. It kind of is. Chikorita. looks in go with the green birdie. Yeah, I think Brout is a pretty good design. I do quite like it. The grass one, it just looks like an Angry Bird. And there's nothing wrong with being an Angry Bird. Angry Birds are a good, recognizable design for a reason. When I see the chicken, I think of Hyokomon. Which one's Hyokomon? Oh, that thing. Yeah, I recognize this guy. Yeah, I kind of get it. I kind of get it. I do have a Switch 2. I do not have a Switch 2 currently. I have a Switch 1. So I expect its Evo to be like Chronomon. I mean, could be interesting. Is it worth buying a Switch 2 for, though? It comes down to, are you going to get value out of the purchase, right? So, would you just buy a Switch 2 to just play this one game? Or would you use your Switch 2 to play other games? That's what it fundamentally would come down to. Why does the grass one look like an Angry Bird? Because, I mean, it's a great design. Why not borrow it? There's a bunch of games it worth to buy a Switch 2. The thing is, we don't have many exclusives, right? I think the exclusives we're going to have, I think Pokopia is only Switch 2. And I think Gen 10 is only Switch 2. We don't have many, like, Switch 2 exclusives yet. It's just like some of your old games will run better on this console. How is the chick when it's fully evolved? You have a picture from that. Well, we don't know that yet. We do not know what they look like when they evolve yet. Once I get that new fire emblem. Oh yeah, I remember the new fire emblem where they're in like the desert area. That actually does look good as well. I'll post the link in Discord, the official website for Wind/Ways with some infos. I might buy a Switch 2 just for Fire Emblem. I mean, there you go. I mean, Fire Emblem is always going to be a good one. Alright, let's chuck this up here. So, we have Pokemon Wind and Waves. A new stage is set for the Pokemon series. The Pokemon Winds and Pokemon Wave games, all new entries in the Pokemon video game series, will be released exclusively on the Nintendo Switch 2 in a simultaneous worldwide release in 2027. These new titles feature an open world to explore, with beautiful windswept islands and a vast ocean with glittering waves that ebb and flow. The Pokemon that live in harmony with this region's lush environment have developed their own unique ecosystems. By visiting these islands, you're sure to open the door to brand new adventures that could only be found here. During this adventure, you'll be able to team up with all kinds of Pokemon to overcome both the difficult road ahead and even the forces of nature that block your path at times. What kind of forces of nature are going to block my path at times? Are we just talking about, like, Rock Smash? Like, I'm genuinely confused. I'd buy a Switch 2 to buy a Yu-Gi-Oh game, not a Pokemon game, though. Yeah, I mean, there's a Vanguard game. It's expensive, but, I mean, it exists. I mean, Dear Days 3 might be a Switch 2 exclusive. If Dear Days 3 comes, I will buy a Switch 2. Digimon still sweeps. There you go. You should be a narrator for the trailers. I don't think so, somehow. Donkey Kong, Mario Kart, Pokopia, Gen 10, Fire Emblem, Next 3D Mario, and Zelda, and a bunch more. The thing is, a lot of those games are also just available on the Switch 1, right? It's not for PC. PC? Nintendo? No, Nintendo never release anything on PC. Nintendo are very much exclusive to releasing content for only their platforms. I don't think there's ever been a Nintendo game that's released on PC. Like, that's actually been made by first-party Nintendo or Pokemon Company, which is, like, sort of first-party Nintendo. Only play on my MSI. I haven't... I say that. I do have a... I do currently have an AMD card, so... First, look at the main characters. Wait, what? Why do they have different hats? What do you guys think is better, the cap or the, like, shitty cowboy hat? I don't know, man. I think the cap looks better. If the cowboy hat looked a little bit different, I think the cowboy hat might look better, but... They have Margin Research Labs and those, like, 8 additional gym type things. Nice. Too iconic. Yeah, I think the cap looks better as well. Wind 100%. Ooh. See, out of the two, just off the names, I was going Winds, right? Because I think Wind sounds better than Waves. Waves to me is too much like, it's beta energy, right? It's water, it's like Pokemon Blue, right? I'm like, eh. Winds, I was like, this is like the Pokemon Red of them. And I've always been a Pokemon Redder. Like, me and my brother have always, like, we divided them, right? Like, I was a Pokemon Red, I was Pokemon Gold, I was Pokemon Ruby, I was Pokemon Diamond. Like, I was always, like, the first one, and my brother always had the second one. Water is beta to my... Exactly. See, now you're understanding. The cap, I think the winds, like winds better than waves. That's kind of where I'm at. 7.8 out of 10, too much water. There we go. I'm definitely a waverer. You, the player, will become the main character in this adventure when you dive into the world of Pokemon Winds and Pokemon Waves. The outfit your character dons will differ between versions. Just what kind of story could be awaiting you? I mean, I think the girl character looks better and the cap looks better. If I'm being completely honest. We probably shouldn't be zooming in on this guy. I forgot what this guy's called. Scolipede? I forget what he's called, but this little guy down here. Introducing the first partner Pokemon. The 3 Pokemon you could partner up with are Brout, the Bean Chicken Pokemon, Pombon, the Puppy Pokemon, and Gekwa, the Water Gecko Pokemon. Choose one to be your partner and set out on a new adventure together. He looks too happy. Brout should never look happy. Oh, he's a good boy. Oh, he's a good boy. Look at his little face. And then Gekwa looks cool. Gekwa looks cool. I genuinely think Gekwa's design is a little bit... I think maybe Gekwa is the one that's being forgotten about a little bit too much. Screw water, I'll replace more than half of my body with wind. Exactly. No customization. I mean, they'll let you change little bits, but not like a ton, right? Chances are you'll be able to get more hats later on, but like not immediately. A reference to the best bug type line. Do we have actual information in what version sold more in each gen? I don't know if we do actually. I think they just try to bundle it all together as one big thing, so. What the dog doing? Exactly. Isn't this a second Water Gecko? Water Gecko is cringe. I don't think he looks bad. I think he looks fine. I think he's cute. And I think he has the best name. I think Gekwa is just objectively the best name out of the 3, personally. You are cringe. Now, guys, let's not all start calling each other cringe. Here we have Brout. Type Grass. Crazy. Overgrow. Man, really breaking the mold with giving it Overgrow. That's wild. Pombon. Oh, they gave it Blaze? Damn. So for anyone that doesn't know, all the starter Pokemon in every gen have Blaze, Overgrow, and then the water one, Torrent. So they always have these. These just increase the damage of like fire moves, grass moves, and water moves, right? That's all they do. But then each of the starters also gets a hidden move, a hidden ability, which basically lets them do something else as well. But they never start with it. If you want the hidden ability, you've always got to get it from like, some sort of event or some shit. Why the big head? We might never truly understand why big heads, but big heads are cute, right? Brout best boy. Brout looks the best for real. I mean, I think Brout's got a good design. I think all 3 of them have really strong designs, personally. I don't think any of them have, like, particularly bad designs. I think Gekwa gets overshadowed by the other 2 a little bit. But personally, I like Pombon the best, then Gekwa, and then Brout for me. That's my tier list. What a shock. It has Blaze. Give Pombon Intimidate. Please, for the love of God. You really want Pombon to have Intimidate? And then why don't we just make him a fighting type as well while we're at it? And when he Digivolve? When he evolves, let's have him stand on 2 legs as well. Let's just go down. We'll just take everything. Proceed to give them the most broken hidden abilities. I mean, you could. You can give this like crazy. I'll end up picking based on the 3rd form anyway. I think I'm just going to go with Pombon either way. My heart is leaning Pombon regardless. Even if he does end up as a firefighting. Even if he does stand on 2 legs. Darkest Gladiator. Exactly. The area below its throat glows faintly from the heat-generating organ within its lungs. This Pokemon is guileless and friendly. Okay. This Pokemon runs about energetically while photosynthesizing using its leaves on its brow. It's lively but can also be a bit clumsy. This Pokemon launches springy balls of water from its tail. Gekwa is very intelligent and maneuvers shrewdly while putting on airs. I don't like it putting on airs. I think that's weird. And make it a dark fire and give it a broken moveset and bulky. Wait, are you just now... Are we just describing the boy, the man, the myth, the legend? Is that all we're doing now? Special Pikachu make their debuts. Oh god, Mr. Windy Chew and Miss Wavy Chew. Why? We didn't need these to begin with, and we didn't need to give them names. Miss Wavy Chew is cursed. I mean, kinda. It's just weird. They just look weird. They're just strange. The latest video featured an appearance of some Pikachu with a brand new look. Just how could these Pikachu be involved in your adventure? Look forward to future announcements. I've never seen this. What are these names? I hate her lashes. I mean, they're the same lashes that Gekwa has, really. Waiting for the last stage Evo for the starters, the legendaries, and hopefully a new evolution. They're definitely swingers. Hi, baby. They look like they're dressed like swingers, I'll tell you that much. In the trailer, they moved like people, which was weird. Well, I don't know. I think I am looking forward to these games. I think fundamentally, I am interested to see where these go. And again, I'm going to play them either way, realistically. I don't think there's a world in which I don't play them. So that's just going to be happening one way or another. But I am interested to see where we do go from here, right? Because again, we're going to get the evolutions, right? We're going to get to see the evolution lines as we go. We haven't seen any of the other brand new Pokemon that are unique to Wind and Waves yet. So that's also going to be quite exciting when we do get that. I don't know if we're going to get like a ton of new information anytime soon. We know they're coming out in 2027, right? So we've still got a while to go till they actually come out. We'll probably get bits and bobs in like Pokemon Directs and stuff. Saw people saying those will be the two legendary. Oh god, could you imagine? I don't like any of the Gen 10 starter designs. I mean, that's fair, Pokemaster Ian. You don't have to like them, right? I think they all look really good. I'm a big fan of all of them. So for me, I'm happy with them all. I like Pombon the best. Probably October, November 2027. That's so long, though. We don't want to wait that long. We get 2 Pokemon Directs in a year. Well, it'll be just the Nintendo Directs, not the Pokemon Directs, right? They'll just start chucking this stuff in the Nintendo stuff, right? But that is kind of everything. That is kind of everything. I mean, that's everything that I wanted to talk about anyway. Because again, right now, for Rush, we're just kind of in a waiting period. So we're just kind of chilling for now. So I think what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and raid. And we're going to go ahead and raid into Hal. Because we haven't spoken to Hal in a while. So I'm going to raid us on over there. We can go and say hello. He's playing a horror game. So if anyone's not into horror games, might not want to come over. We're going to go and raid into Hal. Because why not? Why not, right? But yeah, thank you guys for watching. We'll be back tomorrow evening. Evening for me. So, like, tomorrow, but like 5 hours from now. We will be doing the Vrains Watch Along. We'll be continuing with that. So that's going to be exciting. What's he playing? I couldn't tell you. It's just listed as horror. Other than that, we'll be back on Thursday. We might not do a Thursday stream. I haven't decided yet. Because again, we haven't really got much going on. So we might just skip the Thursday stream. But we will be doing Digimon on Sunday. So that is our plan. Thank you guys so much for watching. It's been a blast. And I'll catch you next time. Bye-bye.
God, that was oh my god. Hello, doggy.